Where's my
Wait.
YouTube's?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Twitch to go live.
Twitch is usually slow. They usually got like a 20-second delay.
Okay. Looks good.
All right, we got YouTube up.
Good. It looks like we are now live on the.
All right, so let's switch it up. Kill the music. And greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and this is the Gaming Watch Weekly Show number 29 for March 29th. And my hair looks like a mess. It's not, but it looked like a mess there for a second. All right, so I'm Static Buzz, and with me, as always, is Oz. How we doing over there, Oz?
We're good. Still in at home, not leaving a lot.
Yeah.
Bored. Yeah.
Day 9 for me for being 9 for being home for the majority of the time. What about you?
Yeah. We went out today to gas the car, go to the gas station, pick up like a Monster. That was about it, and then came back. So yeah, haven't done much else other than that. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting bad when I'm doing randoms, where I put out a So Random last week where I
saw
did
that.
Yeah, I did another one, and I didn't like how it recorded, so I'm probably going to redo it this week. It's kind of one of those, you're on Mars and you're doing a corporation, and I was doing the tutorial, and I really didn't like me doing the tutorial, so I'll probably do like a skirmish and probably get my ass kicked, but that might be better. So
Gotcha.
Look out for that one. But yeah, I'll probably do some randoms because I just got a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, you did that one last week, and I was thinking that I needed to do another one, so there might be some for me coming up too. I got some games that I've been eyeing that I have that I might do that. So, and as you guys,
this is the perfect time to do it.
It is. Get those random games out there, try them out, and let everybody know what they're about. So you guys know Oz is aware that he's having some internet issues out there. So as you might have heard on there, he might be cutting in and out. But we will do our best to do it live and do it as well as we can.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just wanted to, I guess I wanted to say a message, and Oz isn't prepared for this, but, and I haven't really formalized it, but I just wanted to say that with everything going on in the world, just remember that how you treat people matters, and it's important that we treat each other well, regardless of everybody's situation, everything. And no matter how you feel, you're not alone out there. You have people with you. There are people either with you or going through the same things that you're going through. So keep that in your heart and mind, and just persevere and get through it, and pull those people that are close to you closer, and stay safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Not
is
bad for an
important.
unscripted message, huh?
No, not bad at all. I approve of that. I approve of this message. Yeah, it just comes down to, but you see that, like on social media, where you see like people doing really good things, and then there's the people getting into physical altercations at the grocery store because somebody grabbed the last thing that they wanted, and it's like, come on, man, we're better than that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And if they got there first, they got there first. Find something else.
It is what it is, There's plenty of stuff in the system. It's just got to get delivered. Be persistent. Keep going there. You're not going to run out of anything.
Well, it's like, okay, so you remember the first time I told you I went to Costco, I couldn't really find water because everybody's buying water, so they only let you have one, which is fine. And everybody was like buying water, like the people, if they came as couples, they had two shopping carts, and each got one water, so they could each have one water, and they were doing that kind of stuff. Today and the last time I went, which was about a week ago, fully stocked on water. They had a stack 4 high down the middle of the refrigerator section. And that's not even where they keep the water. They were just saying, hey, we got water. You don't have to be jerks about it. Just be cool.
Yep.
Still out of toilet paper, which I don't get. I might have to research to see what that's about. But for the most part, I was able to go and get everything that I needed. People were cordial, saying, excuse me, sorry, thank you, those kind of things when you're getting in your way and getting out of your way, or letting them through, and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a bad trip. So and that kind of made me start thinking that, it does matter how we treat each other. And
Yes.
more than ever, right? So
Yeah. I mean, it's always important how we treat each other. And I went out when there was first panic out there, and it was not fun. People were just jerks, and there's no need to be like that at all.
I think the panic settled down to some extent, so that's a good thing. People are starting to realize and understand the dust has kind of settled a little bit, and they're starting to see what's ahead of them. So
Yes.
Everything should be fine if we keep our heads. So
Yep. I agree with you on that one.
all right, so this show is about all the gaming news that you missed over the week, so we can get you caught up going into the next week. That's what this show is about, the Gaming Watch Weekly show. We're going to get back to that. We're not going to talk about COVID-19, but one news article that we are going to talk about it. And it's actually a good thing. It's gaming industry unites to promote World Health Organization message against COVID-19 launch #PlayApartTogether campaign. This is on Business Wire, so if you really want to get the full article, go there and check it out. I didn't get to see who it was written by, so I couldn't put that down. So what this is all about is today the global and far-reaching game industry agreed to disseminate key messages from the World Health Organization to help slow the spread of COVID-19. To promote these messages, 18 game industry leaders in the interactive entertainment space have launched #PlayApartTogether, an initiative that encouraged the vast network of users to follow the World Health Organization health guidelines, including physical distancing, hand hygiene, respiratory etiquette, and other powerful preventive actions people can take to fight COVID-19. By bringing special events, exclusive activities, rewards, and inspiration to some of the most popular games in the world, #PlayApartTogether encourages users to adopt best practices for the sake of their own health and that of their families and communities by incorporating COVID-19 self-protection message into games. The industry is telling the world, wherever you are, whatever game you play, you can make a difference. Joining the program are Activision Blizzard, Amazon App Store, Big Fish Games, Dirty Bit, Glue Mobile, Jam City, Kabam, Mazalward, I'm not familiar with that one, Playtika, Pocket Games, Riot Games, SciPlay, Snap Games, Twitch, which we're on, Unity, which is the gaming engine, Wooga, Wooga, YouTube Gaming, and Zynga. Follow the hashtag #PlayApart on social media for ongoing updates and details. So like I said, the full article is on Business Wire. So go check that out if you want to see more about that. But I thought it was interesting that the gaming companies, some of them pretty big. Zynga is probably one of the larger ones, not to mention Activision Blizzard. Amazon's in there, YouTube Gaming, Twitch. I mean,
Twitch, Riot.
Yeah, Riot Games. Big Fish Games is pretty big too. So.
Oh yeah, I like.
So it's a good showing, and it's to help make a difference in what we're going through now. And like I said, this is the only COVID-19 story, so you don't have to worry about that going forward. But I thought this was a good one, and we needed to share that.
Yeah. It just shows that everybody's coming together. I mean, there's plenty of stories out there,
Yeah.
It's donating and stuff like that. But we could have filled a whole show of just studio donating money. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, though. It's good that we're doing stuff.
Yeah, and besides the fact that, there's a pandemic going on, it's a really good time to be a gamer because what do we normally do, right? We're normally home playing games. We're normally not out there mingling and doing well. We do somewhat, but for the most part, most gamers are homebodies, and I'm right along with that for the most part. So it's a good time to be a gamer.
Yeah, it is. With these studios of them giving out games, I don't. We'll talk about that towards the end of the show. Games that are free to play right now to promote staying home. But yeah, it's kind of right now because we're getting games.
Yeah, and we're getting some good games like the one you're playing, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing, which I'm playing. Is a
that's not PC, right?
That's Switch. Yeah, it's on Switch.
Just Switch only. Yeah. I mean, so a little bit of it. Some big celebrities were playing it that actually streams a little bit.
Well, that's the other thing. There's all these celebrities, sports stars. They're all homebound too. So a lot of them. We mentioned this before. They started streaming. So, if you're out to watch people play game and you have a certain celebrity, go see if they're streaming. Go support them. Support your small streamers too, like us. But definitely support the celebrities that are out there doing it now because they're trying to entertain people in a time that they need to be entertained. So
it's very true.
All right, so the next one looks like a delay. So is that related to COVID? I hope it's not.
It is. It is. So
my bad. I thought we didn't have any.
Yeah, it's all right. No, I snuck one in. So 76 Wastelanders update is delayed. It basically with Bethesda working from home due to the coronavirus outbreak, the final testing phase of Wastelanders has been delayed 1 week. So it's not a very long delay. It was delayed from April 7th to the 14th. So we're still gonna get it. Within the month, it's just a week later. Yeah. It's just due to devs working from home and final testing. So nothing kind of like with the Cyberpunk 2077 being delayed several. This is just a week.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because that is about the amount of time that it takes from what I've seen, you're kind of out of that now, but we sent a lot of the people home from where I work, and being in IT there, we've had to work with them to get them set up to be able to work from home because a lot of them didn't. And I'm sure it's the same thing with these people, and probably none of them did. I mean, they probably all had to go into the office, and now they're all going to be at home and working from home. So did they have the infrastructure to be able to telework and all those type of things? And then you got to go, okay, do you have the equipment at home? And then how do we get you connected? And then, okay, what kind of problems you going to run into? All that stuff takes about a week to get sorted out. So it makes sense that that's the time frame. But
when I have worked IT, it's usually to set somebody from office home type thing. And basically my brother's doing the same thing, and he's like, yeah, that's all this week has been filled with. I'm like, well, sorry to tell you, that's how things roll, man,
It is.
But yeah, it's just 1 week. I mean, granted, like I said, I might return to 76 for this update because it's like putting people and our PCs into the game. And I don't know if we talked about this last time, but Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, Jay is voice acting one of the NPCs. He's a ghoul, a sentient ghoul, but that you meet in a bar. But yeah, they got him to voice act it. He does a really good job. So
yeah, you did mention it, but it's not, it's worth re-mentioning, so it's all good. You did mention that you might go back and check this out, so you have to let me know if it's any good. I have it on the Xbox, but I don't know if there's cross-play enabled or not, but we could...
I don't know.
I don't know either, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 76 just doesn't want to die. They want to keep it going. And
they keep dumping resources into it.
They got to be making money, otherwise the investors will be like, pull the plug. So they have to be making money.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing is working for them, making money, so they're going to keep doing it. Just remember that. If you're not happy with what they're doing, don't invest. If you're happy with what they're doing, invest. You go out there and support them. That's what it's all about. All right, so on to the next story. Avalanche Studio unveils new brand identity and teases a new game. All right, this is a press release from Avalanche Studios. So on March 25th, they said, Avalanche Studios is excited to announce the name change to Avalanche Studios Group and unveils its new visual identity, including 3 creative divisions, Avalanche Studios, Expansive Worlds, and Systemic Reactions, and teasing a new game. The new identities are a modern update and reflect the entire Avalanche Studios group, leveraging the legacy and strong brand of equity of its AAA partners and outdoor gaming divisions, Avalanche Studios. If you don't know who Avalanche Studios is, they did the Just Cause, Rage 2, and Expansive Worlds like the Hunter Call of the Wild, those type of things. They have a Steam sale going on right now, so you can get some Just Cause 4, the Hunter Call of the Wild on sale. Well, this was the 25th, so hopefully they're still on sale. And they did a teaser trailer for the new game developed in Malmo. But I didn't watch the teaser trailer. I probably should have watched that so I would have known what it was. But they didn't really. It's probably just like a storyline, cinematic, or maybe hand drawn thing. Who knows? It probably wasn't anything that gave us too much of an indication. But the reason I bring this up is because not only did they do the Just Cause, but they did the Mad Max game, and I love the Mad Max game.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to take a swig of water there. So any kind of open world games that they want to do that bring us into a world like Mad Max or even Rage 2 was entertaining. So I'm down for that. I'd like to see where they're going with those type of games and where they get to, and maybe they'll even innovate and make a genre all their own that's open world shooter, RPG, something or other. Because they kind of do their own thing. Their games don't feel like anybody else's.
No, like I enjoyed Mad Max. I didn't do Rage 2. I might do that later on, but I did want to do Rage 2. It just
if you like
I was playing something else. So
yeah, if you like Doom and Mad Max and you want to kind of mush them together, that's kind of what you get with Rage 2.
Yeah, it got some good reviews, so I might do that. I might play it.
I did some videos on the channel for it. I didn't do a full playthrough, but I did play through the full story and beat the story and made it to after that. Didn't do New Game Plus because there's other things out, but yeah, it's a very enjoyable game. Very, very enjoyable. And their new game's gonna be pretty interesting to see where that goes. So speaking of other new games, want to go into the next one?
Sure. So BioWare is developing a new game on its first most prestigious franchise. There was a job listing asking for AAA multiplayer on PC. The listing didn't say for what franchise it is, but my guess, and as the article I looked up is stating that we wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't Mass Effect, because we've already got rumor that they're working on another Dragon Age. So now this could be for Dragon Age that they're looking to just do a multiplayer for that, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy multiplayer for
Inquisition. Inquisition was the multiplayer was okay. You needed to play with other people that you knew to make it interesting. That's not a good sign for multiplayer. If you have to play with other people that you can chat with to make it interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But Mass Effect's multiplayer is okay. Like I didn't mind Andromeda's. It was okay. I played it a little bit, but my guess is this is going to be for the next Mass Effect. Now, I don't know where they're going to pick up the story and carry it on. Are they going to carry on Andromeda? Are they going to pick up after 3? who knows? But I am fingers crossed that there is another Mass Effect coming. So I
Yeah,
just thought that would
you and me
be.
both. You
So I
and
just
me
thought we would
both.
share that they are looking for a continuation of one of their big IPs. So,
Yeah, Mass Effect would be good. What are their other ones besides Dragon Age? What else do they do?
so EA
Anthem, right?
does,
They do Anthem.
yeah, Anthem, and right now I haven't even touched Anthem. Anthem
No,
just I didn't even finish the story. It just got that boring and mundane. So,
I did.
uh,
But that's about where I stopped. If I finish a story on a multiplayer RPG and I'm not max level or close to max level, and I had to grind out like 4 levels to get there, I'm not interested unless the grinding's fun. And yeah, we know the Anthem's not that.
no, and then they also did the recent Star Wars game.
Fallen Order, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've got some good titles on there. It's just their two biggest money makers are Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
You think they'll ever go back to Neverwinter, make an updated version of that?
I don't know. I mean, it was good, but I don't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they try to dabble in the MMO market again. MMOs are still popular.
Oh no, no, no! I'm
Um,
talking about Neverwinter Nights, the RPG, the
oh,
isometric.
isometric RPG.
So more like Dragon Age Origin was.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that type of RPG, the top down that Dragon Age Origins was. That was great. I mean, I'm still bummed that I couldn't do a playthrough on it without it graphically crashing constantly. So yeah, I mean, that would be cool if they would redo that. I think that would be, or
Well,
re-release it,
they did.
carry on the story.
Was it last year? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. They released the Neverwinter isometric RPG. There's two of them, but they re-released them in an HD kind of remastered type of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've already been working on it, and they kind of did that to get the hype up for the games, or get it back in people's memory again. So that when they do this, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about."
True, true.
We can hope. We can
Yes.
hope. All right, and the next story. This is the one I've been waiting for like 2 weeks to hear what they were going to do because I can't remember the guy's name. One of the game developers for Nier said that him and the other game developer were going to do something on the 10th anniversary, which is today. Today. So, this is what I call this little section here, the Nier 10th anniversary news blowout. Blowout, 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 blowout. I don't have any sound effects, so I got to make them up myself. All right. So, a Nier remake in the works. In question mark on this one. So they said Nier series tweeted today. Nier Replicant version 1.2, but got a lot of numbers. An upgraded version of the original is now in development for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. In an apocalyptic world, as you play as a brother on a quest to cure his sister of a deadly disease in this unique action RPG. Now, this is the one that I started a few weeks back. I did like 3 episodes. I plan to continue it, but I've been doing a lot of Neo 2 lately. And then also Persona 5 is coming out on Tuesday, so Royal, and I'll be working on that one too. So if they're coming out with a newer updated version, I'm kind of tempted to not play through it and wait for it to come out on the newer gens, but it's a good game, so it's kind of hard to not. Maybe I'll do both. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna focus on those other games, and then I'll go back to Nier after that if there's time, and decide then. All right. Then the next one is Nier Reincarnation announced for iOS and Android. So they're gonna have a game that is gonna be on phones, and I don't know what that means. They didn't really have much on it. They have a site, but it doesn't really go into anything. There's some graphics on the site with the name, says iOS, Android, and that's about all we get, even when you translate it from Japanese to English. Now, there's no telling if that's coming to North America or not. You would think everything else has, but it's hard to say. All right. So here's another bit of news for you if you have the Xbox Game Pass. Nier Automata Become as God Edition will be coming to Xbox Game Pass. To all Yorha units in possession of an #Xbox, #Nier Automata Become as God Edition will be coming to #Xbox Pass on April 2nd. So, in a couple days you'll be able to go on your Xbox Game Pass and play this. I'm wondering if it's going to be on the PC version of the Game Pass or not. I've been playing it quite a bit on the Xbox. I got through the first playthrough, I guess. I don't know if you know this, but there's like you play through as one character and you beat the story. Then you play through as another character that was like a sidekick of the first character.
Okay.
So you get it from like a different perspective and different things kind of happen and stuff. And then I guess there's 2 more versions of that, and I'm not exactly sure how that works out because I haven't done it yet. I was kind of waiting. I went to Nier. I was going to play through Nier, and then I was going to do a Let's Play of Nier Automata after that. But, time and all that good stuff.
Yes.
It's a great game, and if you guys haven't played Nier Automata and you have a Game Pass, get it on April 2nd, play it. It's awesome. And if I just can give you one bit of advice, for the guys out there anyways, take the girl outside of town and detonate her. That's all I'm going to say. You'll thank me afterwards. And those who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. All right. On to the next episode.
Sure. So...
Sorry. Next
news
article. Man, I am out of it today.
So for people who play Hearthstone or haven't played in a while, starting looks like last week, newcomers and people that have left Hearthstone, coming back, you will get a deck of a class that you want to play, and the cards are all from the newest Year of the Dragon. So this is them trying, to set up for the new deck coming out, trying to draw people back in, which I think is kind of cool because, if you didn't play and you left, coming back, you're getting a whole new deck, and it's all the most recent stuff. So it's kind of a quick way to get caught up and to be somewhat competitive if you wanted to be. I just thought I would share that. But yeah, it's a good time to get back into these things because they're kind of just throwing stuff at people to get them back into games. So like, hey, here's a new deck. I think it's been a little bit since I played.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time. I think it's interesting here. It says it's also worth noting that Blizzard hasn't nickeled and dimed the card rarity either. The decks include up to 4 legendaries, and again, they're mostly very good ones.
Yes.
So, at a minimum, I think I'll probably log in and just get my deck, maybe dabble with it for a little bit and see if I enjoy the game or not. It's been a while. I know that it was okay when I was playing it 4. I just always felt so behind when it came to the meta and playing other people. It was like all I wanted to do was the solo stuff, the single player stuff, and it seemed that was also very difficult to get progression if you weren't playing a lot and have the good decks.
Yeah, I ran into that a lot. They've gotten away from that, so it's not nearly as bad. Now, I still don't do competitively or against other people that often. I do mostly the story-driven stuff. So, but yeah, I'll probably go back to it as well and maybe put something up with the new stuff. I don't know. But I do enjoy playing it from time to time.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go back and get the new deck, and I'll just do a video showing off the new deck, and maybe they'll have you opening packs, make it exciting. If they do that, if they do where you open packs, I'll do a video on that. That'll make it exciting. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Like, yeah, here we go. Here we go. All right, so a lot of the news coming up is from the Nintendo had a direct. Don't remember what day it was. Wednesday? Thursday? Anyway, they had a direct and they had a bunch of announcements on the direct, and some of the articles that we're going to be going up are from that. And the first one is 2K to release a slew of games on Switch. And the first one is the Borderlands Legendary Collection is coming to Nintendo Switch on May 29th. That's going to include Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, plus a boatload of add-ons. That's their words, not mine. And when I say their words, that's 2K's words. I mean, I got this straight from the site. All right. Also, there's going to be the BioShock Collection, which may be May 29th as well, but I didn't put a date on here. I don't remember if it was the same date. You guys will have to verify that, but that's going to include BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, and BioShock Infinite. So 3 large games on one collection. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
And then the next one is XCOM 2 Collection, and that one is available May 29th, 2020. I think all 3 of them are, but I'm not 100% on the BioShock. So this one's going to include the XCOM game 4 DLC pack, which was the Resistance Warrior pack, Anarchy Child, Alien Hunter, Shin Last Gift, and the War of the Chosen expansion, all in one package for the Switch.
Nice.
And another game heading to the Nintendo Switch is Burnout Paradise sometime in 2020. So the 10-year-old game will finally make its way to the Switch. Any of these make you want to go get a Switch?
BioShock possibly. I don't know, man. I've played all of them already, so I mean, I kind of already know what happens. You know how I feel about XCOM. I love XCOM, but I hate XCOM. You know,
love-hate relationship. Yeah.
Love-hate. Because up a guy, really like the guy, and then they'll have a 10% to hit, and all of a sudden they hit and kill. And then I'm usually like, I want to flip my keyboard and be like, I'm done. This is it.
I'm walking away.
Yeah. So
it's not me, it's you.
Yeah. I've wanted to get a Switch for a while, but I don't know if it'll be like the sole reason. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I would hope if you got a Switch, it'd be for like some of the exclusives that are there that, you know, you can't get anywhere else.
Yes.
So, but yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to entice somebody to get a Switch. All right, sure. So there has been some World of Warcraft news this week. You want to go over that?
Sure. So Blizzard polls World of Warcraft Classic players on possible Burning Crusade Classic expansion. So recently there was a survey sent out, and there was a number of questions asked. I didn't get the survey, so I'm just pulling it from the story, but it was gearing, you know, asking about gearing, classes, basic, you know, like how interested are you in this type of stuff. And my thing is why not? I mean, you already redid vanilla and it did well. I don't see why Classic wouldn't. Now, would there be things I would change? Yeah, of course there's some things I would change from the original release of BC to this, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like, I don't know, I didn't get it, but kind of wish I would have gotten a copy or something of it, just so I could have given you the exact questions that were on it. But if you are interested, I guess someone on Reddit did post the screenshots of the survey.
So, I don't know if we ever talked about this. What is your background with World of Warcraft? Mine, I played alpha, beta, and then release, played all the way through release, played BC, kind of got out of it for a little bit at the end of BC. I think they had a lull between that and the next expansion, but I played every expansion for at least to max my character out and do some raiding up to this one. I haven't done any raiding in this one. Well, looking for raid, I guess that's raiding, but it's not the raiding that I'm used to. But other than that, World of Warcraft kind of went downhill. I really enjoyed Burning Crusade.
So for me, I played vanilla, but I was in the military at the time, so I don't think I got max level. I got deployed, came back, and then my account had gotten hacked while I was gone. So they pretty much killed my first account, and I was kind of mad, so I walked away and didn't come back until Wrath. So people have called me kind of like a Wrath baby, but I'm really not, because I played before that. I didn't start up my current account that I have now, which I have Oz on, is pretty much a Wrath account, you know. But before that, I was Horde, Shadow Priest, and now I'm Alliance and a Warlock. So, but didn't play BC when it was out. I enjoyed BC's story. I hated the gear. I really hated the multicolored freaking gear that you ran around in. It was stupid, but great story. But ultimately, I had the most fun, and I absolutely loved Wrath of the Lich King. That's when I really got into raiding, a lot of raiding, in Wrath, and a lot in BC or in Cataclysm, and then I tapered off after that. Then I became an adult with a real job, and that's where I've been ever since. Is I play every expansion, get to max level. I'll do some LFR, but no true raid, because I'm an adult now and I just don't have the time for it.
That's kind of where I'm at. Well, and I do have the time for it. I just would rather spend it doing and covering other games. You know what I mean? I don't. It's a huge time sink.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to get back into raiding. Like me and my brother and his roommate, we did a 10-man, so there was about 8 or 9 of us that were always solid. We always had to pug 1 or 2, but we did a lot of core raiding back then. Yeah. And I like 10-man. I don't really care for the 20-man. It's too many people, but good solid 10-man. I enjoy doing progression 10-man raiding a lot.
Well, I think BC was the start of them going from. I should backtrack. They hired people from Afterlife in EverQuest, or at least one person. Huge, like, I don't know if it was the guild leader. I can't remember exactly who it was. It was somebody from Afterlife, and Afterlife was like one of the top 3 guilds in EverQuest for raiding. And they hired this person, and you could see that flavor of raids in the initial raids that Vanilla had, the 40-mans and those huge groups and everything. And it wasn't until BC that I think that they kind of started shifting away from that and figuring out what raiding meant to WoW. So that's what BC is to me. BC is a shift from, okay, this is how other people do it. We're going to put those type of things into a World of Warcraft world to, well, how do we want to do it? What do we want from raids, from dungeons and stuff like that? And I think that's where you start to see them come up with their own ideas moving forward, and it kind of evolved from there to what we have now.
Well, yeah, I mean, early on in vanilla, only 1% of the player community downed Ragnaros, you know? So it was very, very small group of people that did raiding. And it stayed that way through all of vanilla. BC, it got better. And then in Wrath, I think, is where it really started to be, where it got more inclusive, too. Like, they shrunk the number. So it wasn't, 20, 40 people, they shrunk it down to 20 and 10.
Yeah.
And, it was more manageable then. Trying to do a 40-man, trying to get a bunch of, introverts that are in World of Warcraft, they have the worst community out there. The worst when it comes to being patient, not a complete jerk, stuff like that. They got that elitist, and that's what drives me nuts about WoW rating is the elitist. But I mean, you've seen in the Division 2, they have that as well. There are people that just you can't raid with, and that's across all of them. But I think ultimately, like, you even go to Blizzard's forums and you see it, you're like, wow, these people can be asses. So, but it got better, Wrath, in moving forward, and then they launched what I think killed rating, which was LFR, which was rating for everybody. It's kind of like non-alcoholic beer. Everybody can do it, and it takes the fun out of it for me. Like, I hate LFR rating because, you really get in and they steamroll, and it's all face rolls. You really don't have to learn any mechanics because they strip out the really hard mechanics. So everything is just face roll, man, and that kind of drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that so much. I think that everybody should be able to at least go and see the content. I think the thing that bugs me the most about LFR is it's a stepping stone to get to real rating. You have to go through it to get the gear to...
No, you can do heroic dungeons and go from heroic dungeons into progression 10-man. You're wearing purples from that point, but you have to do heroic dungeons. And again, that's another step.
You run into the difficult
step too. Well, that's a difficult step too. So either you do the easy route, which is easy dungeons, easy mode rating, and then you might be able to get pugged into a true 10-man or 20-man raid. I don't know. Like I said, I just, to me, that was kind of the death of true progression, because like you had to do dungeons and then heroic dungeons to get the gear to do that. And then when they say, hey, LFR, have fun, it just takes the fun out of it for me. It really does. I like seeing the content.
Why does letting somebody else see the content take because you don't have to do it. You could still do the same route. You could still go to heroics and still get the gear and then start raiding. It doesn't change your progression. It adds another thing to it. So why would it ruin your fun for it?
Well, it doesn't really ruin my fun, but instead of everyone queuing up for heroic dungeons, they're queuing up for LFRs. So I have a long wait for a heroic LFR queue as opposed to a shorter...
no.
Yeah.
The dungeons take just as long to get into as LFR.
It all depends. I mean,
as DPS.
Well, as DPS, but if I can bring at least a healer with me, it cuts my queue in half. So, like when I was raiding with my my brother, or doing dungeons with my brother, I already had it cut in half. He healed. Right. So now it's like, okay, but if I'm doing LFR, we still got to wait for 4 more. Heals, whatever the makeup is of that. It doesn't. Like I said, it just changed the whole dynamic of it. I mean, there was very linear progression, and then they threw in another branch to it, which, I mean, again, it doesn't kill the story of the game. It just, no one wants to do heroic dungeons unless you're in a guild that is doing that type of thing. Then you're like, hey, let's do heroic dungeon, There's this piece that I want,
And what's the difficulty past heroic?
What, for heroic dungeons? Or...
No, there's one past heroic, right, where you put in a little stone in and you change the...
Oh, those are like mythics.
Yeah, mythic dungeons. A lot of people push mythic dungeons and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever done a mythic dungeon. I've never done a mythic dungeon.
It's hard to get into those because you
got to be in a group.
You got to be in a group, and usually it's a core group of people constantly doing the same. Exactly, it's the same core group, and then you learn the mechanics. And everyone learns how everyone else is playing, so you can build that to where like I said, select people really do the dungeon or the mythic stones.
But that's your difficulty right there, right? Do that, and don't they have mythic raids too? So you could do mythic raids.
So well, Mythic is heroic, it used to be.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you wanted it to be where the gear that you're getting is still that 1% people are getting it, you could still do that. You just got to spend the time to do it.
Well, no one really spends the time doing it anymore. It's all just
No,
fast, fast, fast. I mean,
the guild that I'm in, even though I'm not part of the raiding anymore, they do mythic dungeons or dungeons and raids and stuff like that. If I was more active, I could go into that. So I mean, there are groups out there that still do it. You just got to
oh,
find it.
oh yeah, there are definitely, still old school way of doing it. It's just a matter of, again, I don't have the time to commit to that anymore with,
No.
everything else that's going on in life. I'm just saying, I miss doing it. I mean, that is definitely a lot of fun. It's just, I'm an adult now, so I can't just sit down and, these days I'm raiding until we're done for the night. I got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Yeah, you do go to sleep pretty early.
Well, I have a almost 2-year-old daughter, so yeah.
I
Because
get
when
it.
she gets up early, I need to be awake for work. So
Oh, believe me, I get it. I definitely get it. All right, enough beating on WoW there. So, we got some clarification on Sony's muddy comments about backwards compatibility. So, I don't know if you. I don't think we covered this. They said something like. We're testing the top 100 games for the PlayStation 4 to see if they're backwards compatible for PlayStation 5, and the most of them are playable on PlayStation 5. And they kind of left it at that. And people were like, "Well, you have like 4,000 plus games out there. What are they all gonna be backwards compatible, or just 100, or you're gonna do it in increments, or what are you doing here?" And it was very kind of a muddy message. So they decided to clean it up a little bit. And on their blog, they say, quick update on backwards compatibility. With all of the amazing games in the PS4's catalog, we've devoted significant efforts to enable our fans to play their favorite on PS5. We believe that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PlayStation 4 titles will be playable on PlayStation 5. We're expecting backwards compatible titles will run at a boosted frequency on PS5 so that they can benefit from a higher, more stable frame rate and potentially higher resolutions. We're currently evaluating games on a title-by-title basis to spot any issues that need adjustments from the original software developers. In the presentation by Mike Cerny, he provided a snapshot into the top 100 most played PS4 titles, demonstrating how well our backwards compatibility efforts are going. We have already tested hundreds of titles and are preparing to test thousands more. As we move towards launch, we will provide updates on backwards compatibility along with much more PlayStation 5 news in the months ahead. Stay tuned. So that's a much better message from them. It still doesn't talk about... See, on the Xbox One X, they have the Xbox Enhanced games. So you can go and actually get a list of all those in the store. You can go and hit a little tab and say, I want to see all the enhanced games. And it'll pull up. And what enhanced means is either it's got a higher frame rate, they redid the graphics, now it's 4K, all those type of things. Or maybe it just plays better, whatever it is. And the developers actually go in, or Microsoft has gone in and done the enhancement to make them better. PlayStation kind of hints that they might be doing that when they say potentially higher resolution and more stable frame rate, but they're not very clear. It's good that 4,000 plus titles will be playable on PlayStation 5, though. That's a good thing. I would hope that the new hardware would run them better and that kind of stuff, but I don't know how the software is written. They could have, in the software, you're not a Dark Souls player, but the PC version of Dark Souls 2, I might be getting the version wrong. I think it was 2, was locked at 30 frames per second for the longest time. And there was no explanation for it other than it was. And then eventually, like a year and a half after release, they finally patched it. Maybe it wasn't that long. It seemed like that long. They finally patched it and made it 60 frames per second. And on a game where your movement and avoiding getting hit is so important, going from 30 frames per second to 60 frames is huge
Yes.
huge. So it made a large difference in that game. So there are games like, say, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, all those types of games that are action-based, reaction-based kind of games could benefit from the higher frame rates and look better with the higher resolution, maybe better draw distances, whatever, but we won't know until we get our hands on those juicy new machines. So if anybody's from Sony's listening, we wouldn't be against doing some testing.
That would be nice.
That goes for the Xbox and Microsoft too. If the Xbox Series One, we wouldn't mind doing some testing. So, all right. So, new games we're talking about that came out that are crushing it. You want to take the next story?
Sure. So, Animal Crossing New Horizon, successful Switch games thus far. Animal Crossing has sold 1.88 million copies in its first week. It made it the most successful selling game for an opening week. This is physical copies and does not include digital. So there is no telling how many they actually sold in the first week, which actually I find pretty impressive for a game with that type of graphics. I'm pretty surprised that it sold 1.88 million copies in a week.
Yeah, and I got mine digitally, so I'm in the part that they're not reporting. So it's hard to say. It is I think the timing on this was great. It comes out right as everybody's going on lockdown. It's like, well, what am I going to be doing with all this time on my hands and I can't go anywhere? Well, there's this game that came out, so let me go get that, and boom, blows up. People streaming it, more people buying it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people streaming it. I was surprised to see it that far up on the list of people streaming it, and I'm like, and I watch a couple of them, and I'm like, this isn't really something I would sit down and watch somebody stream. To be honest, I mean, excuse me, that's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's not highly exciting, so. They're probably there for the personality of the person streaming, but
yes.
I'm kind of struggling when I play this game because I got it mainly because my kids have it. I thought it would be kind of cool to interact with them. The interacting between other people is kind of messy. Like, I'll be going along and I have to, open up my island to allow other people in. Then I got to tell them, hey, my island's open for my friends. And then they'll come in. And, one time I was there and my two daughters came in. So the first daughter comes in and I get this 30-second long video of saying somebody's coming, blah blah blah, and it shows an airplane, and then they're there. All right, so then she's there, and then 5 seconds later, my next daughter goes, another 30-second video thing of, and then they're there, and then you're like, okay, why did I have to pause my game for them to load into my game? It's what year is this again? But so anyway, so then they're there. They held me out for about 15 minutes, give me some stuff that I was just starting out. So they gave me a bunch of stuff to make stuff, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna head to our island. So I'll open it up so you can come check mine out." And they left, and when they left, it was kind of the same thing. It kind of froze the game, waited for them to and you're like, what? So then I go to hers, and I get even longer video. It shows the whole plane ride type of deal, flying over her island and landing and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
No thanks. No
thanks.
Yeah.
But on top of that, the game is all about collecting things to make things to either make them for yourself or turn them in to progress the game to the next stage. And after a while, I'm like, what is the point of me doing this? Why am I'm making things so that I can have people move into my island, so I can have 3 more people that I can talk to that maybe give me more things to do or whatever. And then there's a guy called Tom Nook. He looks like a little raccoon dude, and it starts off with him saying, hey, we gave you a tent and you want a house, right? So if you want a house, you got to give us, some money or whatever. And you're like, okay, they're called bells. And you're like, okay, so I got to give you 90,000 bells for my house. All right, whatever. And he goes, all right, here's your house. And then a couple days later, your house comes, but now you have this debt to him. So you're going through the game, making things, collecting things, selling things, so that you can pay off your debt to this guy, right? Okay. So then I pay off my debt, and he's like, "Oh, you want a bigger house, don't you? 197,000 or whatever it is now is the debt, and when you wake up the next day, you got a bigger house to put more stuff in." And I'm just like, "What? What? Why can't I just get the materials together and build a bigger house? Why do I got to go through you and everything?" But anyways, it's I'm struggling with trying to figure out my motivation for playing the game other than my kids play, and I know that's probably not gonna last. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no interest in it at all. At all. I'm just saying, that type of game sold that well.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You can customize pretty much everything. I get that. People like to gather things. There's a progression there. They like to do that, and then say like, "This is my house. Come check out my island," and this type of thing. So people go and they check out their island, and oh, how did you get a Godzilla on your island, and how'd you get this, and how'd you get that, and it becomes like a thing. But I just I don't know. The progression system to me is just like this constant hamster in a hamster wheel, and I'm just like, this is never gonna end. I'm gonna pay off this bigger house, and then he's gonna want me to make a bigger house.
Probably.
So another game I guess that's killing it right now is Doom Eternal. We don't have the numbers on those, so I mean, you still playing that? How's that going for you?
Yeah, so I did put a video out there of me trying to jump from platform to platform, and I did it very poorly. It was the whole like double jump and dash is very annoying, and then like where you're supposed to progress to, you kind of got to look around and don't get it. And there's one point where I'm trying to go one direction. I'm like, oh, I see this thing over here after attempting forever to go one direction. There's no guide. You just kind of got to figure it out. It's absolutely infuriating because if you don't have a map unlocked, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're just kind of like going.
Guessing.
But the game is fun. I enjoy being the Slayer. It can be frustrating, but I'm curious to see how well it sold. But apparently not as well as Animal Crossing sold.
Yeah, I can look that up real quick. Yeah, I'm not into jumping puzzles. I think I've.
Yeah, we talked about this with Jedi Fallen Order. You really hate jumping puzzles. I don't like them either, but I like Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, I like the fighting, not the on the walls and the double jump dashing. It's kind of like with Doom. I like killing shit, but I just don't like. All right, I gotta figure out how to get to that platform over there. Let's go back to like how Doom was in the beginning. It was just levels. I had to clear levels.
Yeah, you're just slaying demons and clearing things out to get to the next level. Maybe there's a boss at the end or whatever. Trying to find some sales numbers. Best launch in franchise history, this one article says. 2 million copies on PC.
Okay. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's better than the 1.88, but
yeah.
This is probably more all digital than physical.
Oh, probably. I don't think there was even really any physical copies.
I'm sure with the digital copies of Animal Crossing, it probably
smoke it.
Yeah, probably. 3 million, maybe higher than that. It's hard to say. It's really
hard to say.
Yeah, but people are enjoying it. As soon as I saw somebody streaming it before I saw your video, and I saw the jumping puzzles, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I did not buy this. I am glad I did not buy this. Oh, I would be
that is the frustrating, infuriating part of the game is those goddamn jumping puzzles. I can sit there all day and slay shit all day, but if it comes to me having to jump to a platform to then catapult off of something that's sticking out, because sometimes it's just like I gotta get to this thing, and all of a sudden you grab and then you sling yourself further, then you gotta double jump, dash. And it's
and you don't know that until you get there, so you probably fail at least once.
Yep, and like I said, And there was one part where it was like you had to go around this spire, and the platforms, once you touched them, they fell down and they went into the lava, and then they'd come back up. So it was like you had to keep moving, and if you didn't know where you were going, you were just kind of like, I'm just gonna jump, and hopefully I went the right direction. And like my frustration was like up here when it comes to playing that. It's like, and I don't play it very long, about a half hour. I am so frustrated with this because it's constantly jump, 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 kill, 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 more jumping, less jumping, more killing. If they ever come up with another one, that is the answer for me. Less jumping, more killing.
More killing, more collectibles.
Yes.
And more guns, more things you could pick up to enhance your abilities for a temporary time and stuff like that.
Well, like I did the Twitch Prime unlock for the skin, so it's a kind of like a unicorn. So he's running around in this like this white and pink armor with a unicorn thing coming out, and I'm like, well, I can do that, so I'll run around in that for a while. But I don't mind that type of stuff, but the goddamn jumping, I'm so sick of jumping.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that infuriates me about jumping is it doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on. It's all the same. And a lot of them are like, they know exactly in the units in the game how many units you can travel by double jumping, dash, or whatever it is. And they put the jumps at the like extreme limit of that, so you have to hit it just right, otherwise and you're just like, here's the ledge, oh, I missed it, I'm dying.
Yes.
And you're just like,
and there's times you see me in that, I'm constantly like boop, until I figure it out. It's like, God, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And there's actually a couple of them, like you know it's way out there, and they have this recharge orb floating around. You have to hit this recharge orb so you can dash again, because it automatically resets. If not, you have to wait for the timer to reset on your dashing. And I'm like, so I have to hit that, and if I don't, I'm stuck. So you have to figure it out. And I'm like, fuck this. So like you'll see, I'll stop and I'll just end it. It's like, I'm done. I can't figure it out at this point, and I don't want to break something, so I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna go to Division 2, where at least I can hold my own.
There is no jumping, there's only vaulting.
Well, yeah, and that's vaulting over a car hood or something in the way.
Cool.
Yeah, but I'm just a puzzle guy at all.
Yeah,
I'll slay demons all night long.
I wish they would totally get rid of jump puzzles in games. I really do. Or just make it where instead of distancing, you got to time it right. You know, to like there's Mario where they had the fireballs going up and down. You had to jump it without the fireball. You know, I could deal with that. But I'm with you. I'm glad I didn't buy that. All right. So on to games that are out this week. There's really only one that needs to be mentioned. And you know I'm going to be playing it. It just is going to happen. And that is Persona 5 Royal, and it comes out March 31st on PS4. So I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of that, which is going to be the kind of like what you need to do to get all of the confidants built up and all those kind of things. So and it's going to have all the answers to the classroom questions, the final exams, not the final exam, what do they call those tests that they have every quarter or whatever? Yeah.
I'll play the game.
Yeah.
So they had that in Bully. I remember that.
Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about, the exams that end at the end of the semester or whatever. And I'll be doing all that, so look forward to those, I hope. And don't worry for those out there that always gave me a hard time about my last one where I would just play and not talk. I'm going to be talking. There's going to be some graphics on screen describing what I'm trying to do, and there's going to be some things going on to make it more interesting than just me playing through the game the way that is best to get through and get everything that you can get. So enough about that. Let's talk about some of those free games that we were mentioning earlier.
Sure. So Epic Store has more than just the two they've been normally giving you per week. So free now until April 2nd is World War Z, Fragment, Draw 2, and Torment X Punisher. Then
it's actually Figment.
Oh, Figment. Sorry.
Yeah,
Figment,
it's all right.
Fragment. Then free April 2nd through the 9th is Gone Home and Hob, which, like I said, a lot of these games I don't know of World War Z.
So Gone Home is I haven't played it. It's a game that was praised when it came out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a walking simulator, but with some kind of mystery involved with it. You go home and you got to figure out what happened to your family or something, and I don't really know about it. Hob is actually a really good game. It's a kind of an action-y overhead isometric game with puzzles in it. You got to solve puzzles to move to the next area and stuff. And there's some combat in it. The combat's not like over the top, like punishing or anything like that. And I guess maybe there's difficulty settings you could make it. But yeah, but it's a really good game if you like puzzles and solving puzzles in a world setting. It's pretty good.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, that's those games, and I think that's all we have.
yeah, we're pretty much through our stories. So, any thoughts on what you're gonna be working on for the channel coming up, or?
So, possibly some more Doom. There's a puzzle there's a jump puzzle I gotta get. I might get that figured out off camera, just because I hate wasting time. And like I said, I can only do it for about 30 minutes before I'm done with it. And then, of course, I'm going to do some more random games this week, just because, yeah, those are kind of fun to do. You pick them up for a little bit. Like, I didn't even finish Bad North. I got to where I died, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. The video's done. Uninstall. I mean, I got the point of it. It was fun. But am I going to try? I mean, I might go back later and try to get further. I kept the saved game of it, but I'm just going to do some randoms, you know.
Yeah, those are always good because it gives people an idea of what the game is about. That's that's pretty much in there. If it's a popular game, it should be a first look. But yeah, So Random is like those games that most people wouldn't even think about or be like, I don't know, that's a little cringy. I don't know if I want to play that. You know,
yeah.
But yeah. So they are fun because just like, it's a game that not many people know about or are playing. So
yeah, it's fun for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun for a little bit. Then it's like, all right, you know, I mean, for me right now, I play a lot. Like I'm into seasons now, to where I'm trying to unlock stuff and do that. So I think this upcoming week there's another target unlocked. So. You're not there yet. We still got a couple more agents, I think, to drop.
Yeah, I haven't even got what's his name, the Kessler or whatever is in the middle.
Oh, Aaron Keener. Yeah.
Keener, that's his name.
Yeah, Keener. Yeah. We gotta take care of Keener.
Yeah, there's still 2 more agents and whatnot that we need to do, but I don't work for the next 3 days, so.
Oh, take us a PTO, huh?
Yeah, well, I was supposed to have that stuff done, and they canceled on me, but I had 3 days because the day before I had to drink a bunch of stuff that was going to make me not feel good. And then the day of, I was like, well, you know, I'm definitely not doing it the day of. And then afterwards, the day after, I was like, I probably won't need a day of recoup, but I'll take it anyways. I got plenty of time. I got so much personal time But then they called me like a week ago and said, due to everything that's going on, we're in the safety of our patients and our staff, we're canceling all things that are not critical. I'm like, well, how do we know if it's critical or not if I don't know what's going on inside my body?
Exactly.
But
you're not dying, so I guess they don't care.
No, definitely not. The things I'm doing are helping to alleviate any kind of discomfort I've been having, so at least I'm figuring things like that out. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, maybe we can do a stream and drop those final guys and get you going on the season. Because there's some cool stuff. A lot of it's cosmetic. But every so many cosmetic levels, there is a nice weapon that you'll get. So, yeah, I got a nice like rifle that you like. You like these rifles, and I had one. You know, it was a marksman rifle, not a lever action like you like. So, but like the one marksman rifle I got, it's like easily almost 1 million damage, I think. You know, so it's like, Jesus, yeah, when I use it, I'm like, wow, his health just disappeared. When I do use it,
just
you know me, I'm usually I'm like toss out my turret, pull out my LMG, and then I just start laying out rounds because that's more fun. I don't know. I'm counting shells, man, as they fly out.
I don't know. I get enjoyment for aiming down the sights and being able to get those headshots and dropping them in 1 or 2 shots. It's always fun for me.
But you don't like that bolt action you're carrying right now, right?
The scope was throwing me off. So
as
soon as I switched the scope,
weapons
it's fun.
Are completely modified.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's just, because I don't play every day and all that. So I forget about all those other things you can do. And I just forgot that, I could change the scope. I got the rifle and was like, I can't change the scope on the other one because it's a legendary, right? Or can you?
No, the Diamondback, you would have to hit the F button, but I think everything's locked down to most legendaries.
So I got that in my head, and I was like, I can't modify, but I can. I did, and it was like, okay, I can use this. It does more damage. I'll switch over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it does. But for usually an assault rifle and LMG, you know, I do have a modded shotgun. If I'm solo and I know I'm inside a building, I'll usually have the shotgun as my secondary because the rushers come up and you're like, all right, boom, you know. Yeah. But and I do have a sniper rifle. I have, but yeah, I finally maxed out Firewall. So Firewall, I've got all the points assigned to Firewall. Back to the gunner now, planning on getting as many points as I could assign to the gunner. And then I might do the crossbow at some point. I can't stand that weapon.
I got to go and see where I'm at with the gunner because I haven't looked at my skills in a while on that thing.
Yeah, it's also like you also got to sit down and go over to the bench and start taking the looted stuff and stripping off all of its stripping off like talents and weapon damage and stuff like that because that really helps later. Like, you know, if you want to be truly tanky, you know, you want to build up all of that armor, that health, and you can strip that off of stuff you're not using.
Right.
So.
Well, I'll get there. I just, for now, we got to focus on Keener and getting through that, and then whatever happens after that. So.
Yeah, I think the seasons are fun. I think it'll keep the game going until they can progress the story.
Yeah, and I think that it'll be Division 3 when they progress the story.
I don't know. I mean, I can't ruin the end for you, but when you see it, you're kind of like, shit, okay, I can see what's going on now. So I was definitely not expecting what happened. So,
when we get there, it'll be interesting. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and end the show there. So we do this every Sunday. We haven't ironed down a time yet because we're both busy guys and whatnot, so we just do our best to try to do it Sunday in the afternoon. So hope you guys enjoyed the show.
My daughter gets up from her nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We work around schedules, is what we're saying. So, if you guys want to see more, just show up next Sunday, do the whole follow and you get notification stuff, all that good stuff. So until then, take care. Bye-bye now. Static Buzz and Oz out.
See you guys later.
And switching to the some music. I want to give like a 20-second ending so that we can throw up those thumbnails on YouTube.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dog? With the music playing, I gotta act all cool and everything. You know what I'm saying? Get all laid back up in this. That should be good.